It's the 30th of December today, and we're just in the orchard having a quiet day. We're on holiday at the moment, doing a walk around, having a think and plan. Always a good thing to do, to walk around without any tools to do some thinking. Maybe the only tool you want is a notebook. This is an example of a tree that wasn't a lot used to us, and we've cut it back quite hard. This was a Kidd's Orange Red. Don't get me wrong, Kidd's Orange Red is a really, really useful tree, as I'm always saying. But we are downsizing the orchard. We're moving more over to cider production, and this tree is surplus to requirements. What I did last year was attack this very hard with pruning. You can see some really big cuts were made, big cuts. And what's happened, the tree has become quite rejuvenated, whereas it's quite it's worn out here. A lot of tired old bark, a lot of nasty algae has accumulated here on this tree, partly because we had a lot of rain for several years when it's never stopped raining. But anyway, it's cut back hard, and look, it's sent up really big shoots of really healthy growth. Now that's quite a nice thing to do to rejuvenate this tree, but in fact what we're probably going to do, what we are going to do, is graft this over to another variety. We haven't decided yet, but it's very likely it'll be grafted over to cider. So this tree is, I think, 17 years old. It's not grown as well as it might have done. It's getting some dung this year and some pomace. That's from the cider pressing. Our friend does presses apples from elsewhere, as well as here returns the pomace to the earth. Careful not to pile it up against the root of the tree, against the trunk, because it can rot then. But yeah, this is an example of a fairly tired looking tree that maybe hasn't been doing too well. To saw it back very hard sometimes will stimulate the production of a lot of really good quality new growth. Hey, right, so what I'm going to do with this, I'll be probably sending out some scions of Kidd's Orange Red in February. More about that later. Don't send any requests yet, I'll tell you how to make requests. So this will be a really good place for cutting some wood to send out really good, healthy, strong pencils of this year's growth. But yeah, more importantly, rejuvenating an old tree that maybe has been a bit stunted. Cut back hard, sometimes you'll get some really good strong growth. Don't cut back absolutely too hard. I mean, if you cut sort of right down here, it might shoot up a lot, but you might kill the tree. So it's sort of cut back three or four big saw cuts about the lower part of the middle of the tree, if you see what I mean, roughly. So I'll be cutting these back. These will be going out as signwood graft, assuming they're asked for, and I'll be making some saddle grafts onto here with a variety of my choice, which will be a cider orchard. This orchard here, what we call fill barrel, has always been divided into two halves, two unequal halves. This end has been some of the very rare heritage trees like Bardsey, Hoyskins, Golden Runette, Pitmarston Pineapple, Baker's Delicious May Queen, some of the very rare sorts that we've got, whereas the other half, if you like, down this end has been the classic cider varieties, Yarlington Mill, Dabinet, Harry Masters, Jersey, and etc. However, that half has been growing further down here, and these trees here we've got, it's not planted in neat rows at all. It was very untidily planted, which I can't recommend. That's just what happened. This is about 8 each of Kidd's Orange Red and Orleans Runette, which are excellent trees. We've got too many of them. We've got more than we can sell. So as we have a market for as many cider apples as we can produce, we're going to probably graft these over to cider apples that we'll decide on. Anyway, and if you can hear the roar of the motorway, it was nice on Christmas Day. You couldn't hear the roar of the motorway for a little while, but now we can hear it again.